You are looking live at the home of one of the remaining 4 unbeaten teams in Season 14 for the Simulation Football League. It's the Atlanta Swarm. They try to remain in those ranks as they welcome in the Season 9 SFL champion, the Mexico City Aztecs. Welcome in to the broadcast booth, everyone. Chris Curtis, Stephen Mullinex with you, and we have a matchup that could turn into a shootout, Stephen.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 titans of the SFL, both teams coming off playoff runs last season, entering this season, winning ball games in distinctly different ways. First off, the Atlanta Swarm, number 2 total offensive yards in the league so far in this young season, and also number 2 or tied for second in scoring defense. So an overall balanced attack, whereas in Mexico City, it's more about star power. Quarterback Matt Wilson, a Hall of Famer, Season 13 MVP, and fellow Hall of Fame running back Ray Bentley, Season 13 Offensive Player of the Year. That combined star power, led them to a 9-3 record last season.
2 titans in this Season 14. Mexico City looking to bounce back. Atlanta looking to keep it going. We have more after we're at the kick, just coming up next. And we are about ready to get things going here. It will be Atlanta who starts off with the football, will be able to meet their offense first in this game. Cole Varner ready to kick it away for the Aztecs as we get things underway in the Deep South. Week 3 is officially a go. We are back towards the end zone, caught there, return to the 15 to the 20, moving left at the 20 to the 23-yard line, and that is where they will start this drive. Atlanta in those blue unis, they look really, really good with the neon green sleeves, and the Mexico City Aztecs in the maroon and white that we are used to seeing. Marcus Dunhill on the field for his first possession in this game. He's got BDG Hollywood in the backfield. We'll meet the rest of the offense after this first play. In the backfield is Hollywood. You got 7 in the box defensively for Mexico City. Dunhill will throw. First throw to the left will be a spin move and a 7-yard gain. Good work as Boo Chisholm brings in his first catch. Let's meet that offense for Atlanta real quick. Marcus Dunhill and BG Hollywood, as mentioned. Mitchell O'Brien, he's going to be the fullback. Siege Falco, Boo Chisholm, who we've already seen, and then Dave Axis, your wide receivers. Jamal Wooding, your tight end for Atlanta. 2nd and 3 coming up. 3 in the backfield for Dunhill. Handoff, left side. Hollywood going to bust through and get them close, but not quite there. Close, but no cigar for the first down.
Yeah, actually surprised they didn't give him the first down there. Seemed very, very close. And, look for Hollywood certainly to be a big part of their game plan, both in running the football, which he's excellent at, and in the passing game.
3 in the backfield again. 3rd and inches, handoff, Hollywood around the corner. He's got the first down. Not much to that one, not many yards, but it gets just enough to move the chains. Let's meet that Mexico City defense real quick. Brock Lee, he's the defensive tackle, Orion Taylor. Linebackers, Tony Stack and Dexter Jackson. Inside linebacker, Nick Daggs. Cornerbacks, Zeron Pryor, Han Tayumi, Fran Ogawa. Safeties, Jeffrey Daggs and Pablo Zamora. Cole Varner is your kicker for the Aztecs. Back to first down. Dunhill to throw to the outside, has Hollywood on a swing. One-handed grab, and then he spins into a tackle. It'll be a 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1 for Atlanta. They're starting to move.
Yeah, and give a lot of credit to Dunhill on that particular pass. He was able to lead Hollywood a little bit forward outside of his route, giving him just an extra little edge there, a cut up, in order to get those 9 yards. Probably would have just been a 4 or 5 yard gain without leading that pass a little.
Getting closer to midfield on this 2nd and 1. Dunhill will throw to the outside, has a grab, and it will be towards the 47-yard line. That is Siege Falco with his first grab.
I love the play call there by the offensive coordinator, just running Siege Falco underneath a couple longer routes on that little short out, giving a wide open target for Dunhill.
Good work by Falco to move the chains. They get closer and closer to midfield. 2 in the back for Atlanta. Plenty in the box defensively, handed off Hollywood. He's got some room to go through the middle, and he'll get a 6-yard gain out of it. Good start for Hollywood. He had a hat trick in rushing last week, 269 yards of total offense, including 3 touchdowns on the ground. And this man has been a beast all season long.
Yeah, you're right. And he actually leads the league here going into week 3 in rushing yards per carry, 6.8. Just got 6 yards there on his last carry.
Trips left, hand off. Hollywood, he gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That was close. Good work. Mexico City's defensive line stands up on that play.
Yeah, that's Orion Taylor, the first season defensive tackle, replacing Guapo Esteban, the big defensive tackle who left in free agency to go to Vegas, and Taylor coming in and filling his big shoes quickly.
6 in the box defensively. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. For Hollywood in the gun, or for Dunhill in the gun, sorry. Drop back throw over the middle. It is tipped and should have been picked off, but it is not going to go. That was close. Daggs couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, that's a dangerous man to throw it to. Jeffrey Daggs had an interception in week 2 against Baltimore, and it really known in this league is not just a defensive playmaker, but a terrific, extraordinary special teams returner.
Both these teams in the bottom third of teams in pass defense as far as yardage per game, and looks like Atlanta will punt for the first time, so a win defensively for Mexico City, and they'll get this ball returned from the 10, get it to the 12, and not much further than that. Now enter Matt Wilson and Ray Bentley. You mentioned the Hall of Fame duo. They come out for their first possession in not advantageous field position, but this is a quick strike team that can really wear you down with the long plays down the field.
Yeah, they have some dynamic weapons outside of Wilson and Bentley. They've got K.L. Barrett, a terrific wide receiver. Got a great duo, him and Montague together, plus the terrific tight end, Mike Daggs.
Wilson sees something on the line on a first down. Has Bentley in the backfield. Hand off Bentley, and he will go basically nowhere. 1-yard gain. That's something that Baltimore did really well in their win against Mexico City last week, is they were able to shut down Ray Bentley for the most part. They were able to force Matt Wilson into throwing situations, and Matt Wilson, who did not have his greatest week, 3 interceptions last week.
Yeah, you're right. And this team has been more pass-oriented here through the first 2 weeks, not looking to Bentley as much, using their fullback, really, rookie Phoenix Jones, a lot.
2 in the backfield with him in the gun. Throw over the middle, and somehow he finds a seam. That is caught. That was close, but it is a first down for Mexico City. What a grab as they bring it in.
And that's Montague, 7-year veteran. Actually, both of their outside wide receivers, Montague and Barrett, they're 7-year veterans in this league. And that was just a veteran move there. Actually was behind the defender when the pass was thrown and maneuvered himself in front of the defender to make the catch.
7 in the box for Atlanta. Wilson again changing the play at the line. From their own 24. Hand off, and it was well read by the Atlanta defense, able to bust through the line and get him, and bringing down Ray Bentley with a 3-yard loss.
Well, it's plays like that make it easy to understand why Mexico City may not be running Bentley as much, as he had little choice there, as Zach, was able to make the tackle in the backfield unblocked.
Yeah, he just busted right through, nobody on him. Wilson to throw, quick drop back to the outside, has Bentley out there trying to get something done. I'm sorry, that was not Bentley. That is a third down regardless, 3rd and 8.
Yeah, that's Phoenix Jones, the fullback. You know, in the draft, the fullbacks were kind of the surprise element. So many fullbacks going, and Phoenix Jones, so far through 2 games, has been, I believe, the most utilized fullback. Last week against Baltimore, 5 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown.
He basically split duties with Ray Bentley. They more or less came with 50 yards apiece and a touchdown apiece. So good stuff from them, but still not the great individual effort. That's an interception over the middle. Wilson throws one over the middle, well read, and that is Blake Chance, his first pick of the game.
Yeah, Wilson looking for K.L. Barrett over the middle of the field there, a little post route, and it's just a great play by the defender, reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, playing center field and coming down with the ball.
and immediately Atlanta turns the ball over near the midfield stripe. They're in Mexico City territory. That is Chance's second interception in 2 weeks. He had one last week in the game they won against the Fury. Chance for Atlanta to put points on the board. Dunhill moves right, throws right side, caught, and broken tackle, but not much further than that. And that is a 2nd and 6 after only a 4-yard gain.
And that's a good sign for one of the best tight ends in the league, Jamal Wooding. Held with that a stat last week, 2 targets, didn't come out with any catches, but still had such a great week 1 performance. He actually is number 1 in the league right now in yards per reception, averaging a whopping 29.
You saw Fran Ogawa, one of the cornerbacks there, spotlighting him on this play. We'll see if he can make a stop to the outside, though. It goes to Hollywood. Spin move, past 1, and 3rd and inches again, as he can't quite get enough for the first down. That was close, but Hollywood gets him to a 3rd and inches.
Well, you take a look at Marcus Dunhill's stat line, completed 80% of his passes last week in a big win over Vegas. And one of the reasons why is you have a reliable target out of the backfield like Hollywood, and it just makes those turnovers go down and that completion percentage go up.
He was 80%. He was only 17 for 21 with all the rushing they had going through. Hollywood has plenty of room through the middle and gets him to a 1st and goal to the 9-yard line. Atlanta is moving, and now they are officially knocking on the door.
Yeah, and this is dangerous if you're Mexico City. Atlanta starting to get both elements of their offense going in the run game and in the passing game, kind of lulling this defense to sleep with some of those shorter passes and passes out of the backfield, and they're able to now to gauge this defense right down the middle. Boy, this is looking like Atlanta's just having a buffet and electing to do whatever they want to do on offense.
3 in the backfield for Dunhill on 1st and goal. They cannot get a first down. Outside, Hollywood got to try to break this. He will not. He's going to lose 3 yards and make it 2nd and goal from the 12.
You had mentioned earlier that this Aztecs defense actually coming into this game 12th in the league in scoring defense, allowing 28 points a game. Maybe more concerning is their pass defense, 18th in the league, allowing 331 yards per game. So this is a defense that needs to step up.
In the backfield again is Hollywood, trips right. Looks to throw. Dunhill, right side, towards the end zone, alone in the end zone. That is an Atlanta touchdown. Nothing doing there. Dave Axis, their 1st-round draft pick, brings it in.
Well, no player in the SFL should ever be that wide open. Clearly some kind of breakdown in coverage. And look, Mexico City's been dealing this here for the last couple of weeks there. Wow, there is nobody even on that side of the field. The easiest catch Access is ever going to make in his football career.
Nobody within 10 yards of him. That was close. There was no one close, I should say, and it's a 6-0 lead for Atlanta as they work to get the extra point on the board here. See if they can put it down, but nice comeback after the interception to be able to take advantage of those mistakes. High snap, handled well, kick is on the way. It is up, and it is through. Atlanta with a 7-0 lead down south in the Hive. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. Stay with us. Welcome back into Atlanta, Georgia. The Swarm have a 7-0 lead, and congrats to Dave Axis on his 1st career touchdown in the Simulation Football League. That's an achievement, hopefully the first of many for the young Atlanta wideout. Kick on the way as this will get returned from about the 3-yard line. Out to the 15 to the 20, right at the 20 through the hash marks now. He's going to keep busting through and eventually get taken down at the 28-yard line. Bring back out Matt Wilson, looking for a little bit of redemption after that interception over the middle. And Matt Wilson won't let the moment get to him, I don't think, but he's had his struggles over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. Coming off a game where they lost to Baltimore City in Mexico City, As you mentioned before, he threw 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, only completed 58% of his passes.
Wilson to throw. The southpaw is going to get taken down on first down, make it a 2nd and 15, and Atlanta's defensive line stands up again.
Yeah, and guess who it is? Their number 99. Therefore, the Atlanta Swarm, Joshua Williams, adding to his sack total now 4.5 sacks so far in 3 games, and this one just got started. This is a guy who is actually tied for 3rd with 3.5 sacks coming into this game.
We'll actually show you some more detail on Joshua Williams here in a second. This will be in the gun for Wilson. Plenty of time to throw. He's going to get, he might get taken out again. He will. And is that him again?
Looks like that looks like the defensive end to me.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like 96 this time. That is that's a big takedown regardless of who it is. And the backup comes through. Talking about Joshua Williams, 3.5 sacks. He was tied for 3rd in the league coming into week 3. Adds another full sack to his total there, make it 4.5 on the season. Throw short, crossing pattern. Caught, not much left to that one, and it's an immediate 3 and out for Mexico City.
Yeah, not much you can do when you've got that kind of 3rd and long territory. Just not many plays in your playbook, allow you to convert that first down. But that previous sack was a straight-up coverage sack. Just Atlanta secondary did a great job blanketing every option for Matt Wilson. He had no choice but to tuck that ball in and take the sack.
Yeah. Punt up and over. Should get back to midfield, and fair caught there at the 47-yard line. Atlanta gets the ball back, trying to go up 2 scores. We're back after this. And let's bring back the Atlanta Swarm here as they bring their offense back onto the field. It is a 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line, just outside of getting into plus field position. In the gun is Marcus Dunhill. 5 in the box defensively. Dunhill, deep drop back, throws over the middle. That one is picked off. What a reaching grab. And that is Daggs. They tested him earlier. This time he comes up with all aces.
Yeah, and they got burned on this one as Jeffrey Daggs, playing the middle of that field, really does a great job of coming down with a spectacular catch, just really following the ball through the air and meeting it at its highest point. That's kind of where you want a receiver to go up and meet the ball. Jeffrey Daggs, the defender, just simply did a better job of doing that.
Had an interception last week, just did Dunhill. He adds to his totals this week. Daggs brings one in. That's a real nice play for Mexico City as they try to reverse the tide here. Wilson to throw over the middle, and looks like there's some laundry on the field. We'll see where that goes, but at the moment it is 2nd down.
Looked like a pass interference to me, Chris, as the defender got in front of the receiver blocking his route.
That's exactly what they're going to call. So that'll put the ball at the spot. So it'll be a 1st and 10 for Mexico City as they get closer to midfield. And, you take them as you can get them, I guess. And if you need a little bit of help moving down the field, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But Matt Wilson will take it as they try to get something going on offense.
Certainly coming into the opponent's home stadium, trying to get something going offensively. That pick puts you in great field position. Take this penalty, get the yardage, use that momentum to score.
Bentley in the backfield, along with one other. For Mexico City is going to get taken down again. 3 sacks in 2 drives for the Atlanta Swarm defensive line. That is a 2nd and 14. And it's Williams again.
That's what I was about to say. Joshua Williams again gets his 2nd sack. This could be a career day for that young man right there, as he is absolutely dominating in the trenches right now. We've seen this in the past, Chris, where these defensive lines will absolutely take control of a game.
In the gun again is Wilson. They're going to send 4. Throw deep right side. Got a target out there, and he may go to the house. It is K.L. Barrett with a touchdown for Mexico City.
And they, as a response to this defensive pressure that Wilson is seeing in the face, they send Barrett on a fade route, and he absolutely burns the defender. Those are the kind of plays that you want to install into your offense when you're trying to negate the pressure that defense puts on you. Just a wonderful play call there by head coach Ramos Lynn.
That was Jack Napier who was burned on that fade route, unfortunately. Look for him to respond later down the road. 7-6, Mexico City looks to tie it up. And what a first quarter we've seen. One big play for Mexico City. We talked about their quick strike ability earlier, and they show another piece of evidence for that right here. Kick up and on the way on the extra point from Cole Varner. It is through and make it a 7-all game. Atlanta looks to respond, getting the ball back. But Mexico City, they got what they needed when they needed it. They did not want to go down 2 scores.
And let's not forget, this would be a 0-0 game if not for those turnovers that
Right.
led to great field position. So we still really haven't seen what these offenses can do yet in this game when they just have normal field position that isn't caused by a turnover.
Yeah, 2 turnovers in this first quarter. This will be returned from just inside the end zone out to the hash marks, inside those hash marks to the 25-yard line. And that is where the Atlanta Storm will start this drive out. Good stuff from Atlanta's offense, at least early. We'll see if they can continue things going on. They had 1 punt in their first drive, but it's been aces since then other than the interception. So looks to see if they can continue that and redeem themselves for that interception on Marcus Dunhill, BDG Hollywood to his left in the gun. Dunhill to throw. Trying to drop back, deep ball, left side. That one's picked off as well. Did he get his foot in is going to be the question. I think he might have, but Dunhill hit as he threw.
Yeah, you're right. I think he might have gotten 1 foot in. This one's, we're going to have to take a really close look at this. The pressure, obviously,
he got
forcing Dunhill, and that's too young. Yeah. Hantiomi actually getting his foot in. Not a great angle there, but it doesn't look like they're going to challenge.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Looked good from everything we had to leave to our imagination right there. But indeed, a second straight interception from Marcus Dunhill on 2 straight throws. That's not good for them, but give Mexico City the ball in plus field position already as they're on the Atlanta side of the 50. Wilson to throw. Deep left side. That's picked off. Back and forth we go. 2 turnovers back to back, and now there's a return back the other way. Atlanta making something go here, as that is a great play, and that is Blake Hamrack, his first pick.
And it's just a matter of these 2 teams trying to strike where they striked before. Atlanta looking deep, getting intercepted here. Mexico City runs another one of those fade routes. It worked on the previous series. Why not work now? Well, Blake Hamrack is on the other side of the field, not Jack Napier, and he takes full advantage. And what a return there. Just the athleticism there by the defensive back.
Yeah, no kidding. The crazy sequence of events is both quarterbacks in this first quarter have thrown 2 interceptions. We've seen 4 in this quarter alone. In the gun is Dunhill as they're back towards the 50-yard line. Over the middle, deep ball caught at the 29-yard line to the 27 is where he will go. That is Axis who comes up with that grab.
Well, it's a gutsy throw there by Dunhill. You've just thrown 2 interceptions here in this game, and you just keep going back to the well. Just absolute amnesia about those early takeaways. And, Dunhill leads the league in yards per pass attempt, 11.3. So, they like to air it out. Mexico City knows that, too. It's likely the reason why they came away with 2 early picks.
Yeah, we got the gambler's arms going on in this particular game, no doubt. Offset I formation for Dunhill, 7 in the box. Good drop back, good pocket thrown over the middle. That is caught towards the 5 to the 3. He's caught at the 2, and he's taken down. And Atlanta starting to get some things set up here as that is Wooding with the catch and the end of the first frame. We will be back for the start of the second after this. 7-all in Atlanta. And we come back to the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia. Chance for Atlanta to possibly take the lead here as they're knocking on the door. First and goal from the Mexico City 2-yard line. That is Hollywood in the backfield. Plenty in the box defensively. I think they're expecting run here. Dunhill will throw towards the back of the end zone, and he's out of bounds. Not going to bring that one in. That was close. Chisholm will argue it, but to no avail.
Yeah, pretty far out of the end zone. I don't think it would waste a challenge here, but just simply ran out of room, just running that little post route. Honestly, probably the receiver's speed. That might be a situation where your speed hurts you a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely nowhere to go when you get when you take not enough time to get back there. Offset I-4, actually it'll be a 3 in the backfield situation for Atlanta. And a free play as well. Hollywood going to try to bust his way through, nearly did. It'll end up being a free play regardless, and they'll get to the 1.
Yeah, and just a great job by Hollywood even to get that close. I mean, considering that the offsides was on that side of the field that they were running towards.
Right.
So really an extra defender with an extra head start right there, and still able to cut it inside and nearly scored.
All right, so half the distance to the goal. That'll get it to exactly the 1-yard line. Get them even closer. 7-all game as we start the second quarter. Atlanta trying to take the lead. They face a second and goal situation now. Again, 3 in the backfield. 1 off to the left. Dunhill, handoff, plenty of room. No, he gets closed up and he gets taken down. That was close. Not going to happen. It'll get to about the half-yard line. And Daggs comes through, Nick Daggs, and makes a huge tackle.
Well, there may be no better play here in the SFL if you like true football than when we're at the goal line like this. The defense is really set up to play against the run. They stack it against the run on the line, and it's helmet on helmet, player versus player. Who's strong enough wins.
Now let's see if they have the will to get in on this play. 3rd and goal. Handoff again to Hollywood, and 3rd time's a charm. This will do it, and Atlanta takes a 13-7, maybe 14-7 lead.
Well, that's 4 rushing touchdowns, in the last 2 games for BDG Hollywood. Absolutely having a beast of the season, just adds to his scoring total here. And wow, we've seen an absolute clinic on the ground so far by Atlanta here at home. And if you're owner Mark Chisholm, you got to be really happy about what's happening there on the ground for your team and what that means for your season.
Yeah, and on the other side, if you're Mexico City, you got to be kind of concerned. Able to give up big chunks of yardage over the middle of the field is a decent problem. Plus that first touchdown, this will be a extra point that is good, right up and through the uprights on a good snap. 14-7 Atlanta, as we are about to welcome Matt Wilson back out onto the field, and he needs to try to put that first quarter more or less behind him. As other than the 1 touchdown to Barrett, he kind of looked like he was a little bit slow to the play.
Yeah, and already 2 interceptions so far early in this game. And this is a guy who only threw 15 total interceptions last season, was arguably the most efficient passer in the league, again, winning the MVP award.
Back from the 3-yard line out to the 15 to the 20, in between the hash marks left, and he'll get taken down at the 24-yard line. Taking a look at that comparison between Marcus Dunhill and Matt Wilson, you can see there the QB rating. Matt Wilson last season had the best QB rating in the league a season ago. And Marcus Dunhill has made improvements, 27 touchdowns, 27 interceptions. And I'd say he's well on his way to beating that and making it a much better stat line for him. Under center, handoff to the fullback this time. 2nd and 8, nothing much to do, or 2nd and 9, nothing much doing there as Phoenix Jones gets his first carry.
Well, going back and talking about these 2 quarterbacks and comparing them, very different styles, at least it was last season, where you had more of the gunslinger mentality from Dunhill. Their offense actually led the league in passing yards, so not afraid to air it out, whereas Matt Wilson, a little bit more conservative as offense, using Ray Bentley a lot as a receiver.
Wilson throws right, gets hit as he threw. That is a grab. It's a 7-yard completion, and Clark Jr. brings that one in.
Yeah, and Clark Jr. not targeted just 1 time, didn't bring in a reception the last game. As this 3rd wide receiver in this great receiver core, you'd love to see Clark Jr. get a little bit more involved, especially if he's playing out of the slot.
3rd and a couple to try to extend this drive. Wilson to throw, deep drop back throw, one-handed grab. That's a spin move and a good one. That is a completed pass. Ray Bentley gets them a first down, and they move the sticks as they get to the 41.
Well, half of this play success is play design, and the other half is just simply player talent. Here, just scheme to go out into the flats, wide open, allows you to get a playmaker the ball in open space, and then you see what he can do when he has his hands in the ball. That spinning, whirling a dervish move there by Red Bentley that we've seen a lot of here the last couple of seasons.
The whirly dervish is a good one, and then let's talk about that catch for a second too. One-handed off his back foot, he's able to bring that one in and then look upfield. That's a great play from Ray Bentley, and under center is Matt Wilson on this new set. Bentley's in that backfield. He'll get the handoff on first down and go absolutely nowhere. 1 yard loss for him, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, and Joshua Williams is absolutely having a monster game here. Actually was blocked and was able to shed his block in the backfield and hold on to Bentley and bring him down. Just the pure strength demonstrated by that young man is impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a tackle for loss to his totals today, along with 2 sacks. That's going to be picked off as Wilson's going to throw it left, and another interception for the Hall of Fame quarterback, returned to about the 40-yard line in Mexico City territory. And how about another great play from this secondary? It's Blake Chance with his second. Oh, and the defensive holding knocks it away.
Wow.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate. It's on Williams, believe it or not. That is a deep calling card, and 14-7.
Yeah, actually, I think that was I was actually looking for a clipping call, which happens oftentimes as the defenders try to make blocks. But what happened, in fact, there was a holding call that was on the return. So the interception is going to count, and Atlanta's going to keep the ball, but they're going to suffer some yardage losses here.
Fair enough. I missed that part, but that's fine. The 3 in the backfield for Marcus Dunhill. Handoff to Hollywood right side. He's going to get taken down after a couple yards. So they keep the ball, and it does count as another interception for Matt Wilson. That's a tough day for him, as he's got 3 so far.
Well, I think they came into this game knowing they're going to have to take chances in order to keep up with the high-octane offense of the Atlanta Swarm. You know, the Swarm are coming in 5th in the league, averaging 31 points a game, so they knew that they were going to have to take some chances deep, and they're paying for it.
Oh, and that's going to be a tackle behind the line again. Hollywood this time goes down. 3rd and 9 as the linebacker gets up and makes the hit happen, and a long 3rd down situation for Atlanta as they try to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, just an excellent play by outside linebacker Dexter Jackson there. Registered 3 tackles in the previous game, able to get into the backfield and bring down one of the biggest and strongest running backs in the SFL.
Atlanta 2 for 4 on 3rd down to this point. See if they can go 3 for 5. That's caught. Can he turn upfield? He cannot. Huge tackle as Siege Falco gets sent out of bounds. And a great play to stop the drive where it sits. 4th and 3, and Atlanta will punt.
Yeah, never a fan of running those short out plays short of the sticks, because then you just put the onus on the receiver, whether that be an actual receiver, or running back, or a tight end. You put it on them to have to try and get past the sticks for that first down. They're just a great play by Tayumi to bring down the actually bigger receiver.
Snap is low. It should bounce towards the end zone, and it will. Football bounce will take it in there, and the Aztecs will start this drive at their own 20-yard line. And you got to find a way to settle Matt Wilson down. He's been kind of out of sorts a bit in this game. Maybe find some more creative ways to get Ray Bentley the football. He's already shown he has the pizzazz today.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to look more towards and it's funny to say this when you got somebody like Will center to try and build his confidence a little bit. I mean, he's accomplished so much, and then he's Hall of Famers, won a championship. Veteran quarterback does seem a little rattled.
Southpaw will move in the pocket, throw left, caught, and that is towards the 28-yard line. And that'll be a 2nd and 2 situation, as that one is Junior who comes up with it.
And we talked a lot about Joshua Williams on those sacks, already registering 2 in this game, but he has having an impact purely putting pressure on Wilson. One of the main reasons we've seen 3 interceptions from him.
One of the reasons Wilson has eyes in the back of his head right now. This will be a handoff for, I believe that is Jones who got that, the fullback. It is indeed, and it is 3rd and 1 after a 1-yard gain.
And we're not seeing a lot of the fullbacks as of yet, not really winning with power. A finesse happening with some of these fullbacks trying to honestly trying to look like running backs more than the power running style that we're used to. They're just not able to push through past the first down marker.
Under center, handoff, left side. It's going to be a run that past the sticks for Phoenix Jones. He's got some room to work out to the 48-yard line of Atlanta territory, and they get the first down and then some thanks to the fullback.
Yeah, and that goes right back to what I was saying. The running style is just a little bit different here. He actually cuts back inside, a move that you would expect to see from a running back,
Yeah.
not from a power player who wants to actually make contact with defenders. He makes just a nice nifty move to get underneath that reach tackle by the defender.
And something to keep a note as well, got tight end who leads the league in targets so far, Mike Daggs, in a quarter and a half has no targets in this game. So something to look at if you are the Mexico City offense. Offset I formation for Wilson. Thrown deep over the middle. It's caught. And that is KL Barrett again on the long strike. Mexico City ties it up.
Well, this is what we've been talking about with Barrett. It's really turned his game into a deep threat type of game here. Look at the separation able to get from Napier. And again, number 21 gets burned by Barrett on these fade routes. And I'd expect Mexico City to keep going to the well with that because it represents all the points on the board for them right now.
Do it until they prove they can stop it. That's a big play for Mexico City as they try to tie this game up pending the extra point. Cole Varner lined up for it. Snap good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up and it is through. So after all the turnovers, after all the interceptions, it is 14-14 in Atlanta. Stay with us. This is the SFL on 11 Sports. And the combination of Matt Wilson and KL Barrett means this game is tied up. It's accounted, as you mentioned, for all the points, Stephen, that Mexico City has been able to put up today. And on the other side, Atlanta having a pretty good offensive day as well. But turnovers on both sides. Some cause for concern possibly going into the halftime break. This will be about 5 yards deep, 10 yards deep in the end zone. And kneeled down there. So 1st and 10 for Atlanta. Bring back out Marcus Dunhill, who has had a rather pedestrian day for the stats he's put up so far this season. He's completed 100% of his passes at least, but also with 2 interceptions.
And for all the turnovers that we saw here in the first half, it may end up to whoever can stay the cleanest who might end up winning this game for the rest of this first half and through the second.
Dunhill to throw. Deep drop back, right side towards the sideline, and that is tipped and incomplete. That was Fran Ogawa with the deflection on it and knocks it out of bounds.
Well, we talked about Dunhill's amnesia there. There's no fear in what he does. He will continue to try to make tight window passes regardless of the coverage. If it's double, if it's triple team, it doesn't matter. Has supreme confidence in his arm.
3 in the backfield for Atlanta. One of them is BDG Hollywood. 7 in the box defensively. Defensive linebacking core shifts left. Hollywood through the middle, has some room to go. Has the Jets. He's out to the 50, to the 40, the outside to the 30, and he's going to get taken down before he gets to the 30, to the 32-yard line goes Hollywood, and that's a big play for Atlanta.
Yeah, and really, Hollywood has been the difference in this game. Check out his ability here to accelerate away from the pursuit. Just supreme speed in that big-bodied frame that has a lot of power. This guy is simply the most all-around running back here in the SFL.
And he continues to show that. What a run for him. It'll be 1st and 10 for Atlanta. I formation. Hollywood the deep back, 7 in the box again. Looks to throw. Dunhill deep over the middle, tip drill, and it was nearly picked off again. Daggs nearly had his second one at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, testing Jeffrey Daggs once again, and this young man is up to the challenge here in his 5th season here in the SFL. And Dunhill, yet unafraid to keep going towards this young man. If I was him, I'd do everything I could to avoid him.
Got to get to the 22-yard line to get a first down here. 2nd and 10. 2 to the right for Dunhill. Looks to throw to the outside. Quick little swing pass to the right and a quick out. Gets him 4 yards, makes it a manageable 3rd down. Siege Falco with his 4th catch.
Well, you'd love to see Siege turn that one upfield and get some extra yardage, but it does make this a nice, manageable 3rd down. Opens up the playbook a little bit, although I think you're going to have to go through Dunhill's arm in order to make this a first down, and they will because he's in shotgun.
Dunhill in the gun indeed. Trips left, 1 to the right. They're going to try to air it out on 3rd and 6. Plenty of time. Testing deep. Right side. It is caught. He found the seam in double coverage. What a grab it was to the 7-yard line, and they keep the drive alive.
Yeah, and just a matter of Dunhill trusting his receiver to go up and get this ball in between 2 defenders, jumping there above the number 29 there, Pablo Zamora, the strong safety, and able to bring it down. Just an excellent, really trusting play there by Dunhill to put the ball up and just let his receiver go up and get it.
Jamal Wooding was the one on that catch, if not mistaken. I also saw a bit of a one-handed. This is a free play for Dunhill. Got to put it in the end zone here. He does not, but it will go for naught as he'll get closer to the end zone.
Yeah, a lot of traffic there in the middle of the field, and Siege Falco just not able to find his way through it.
All right, so the pass interference call is what they're going to call that, actually.
Oh, wow.
That actually put the ball on the 1-yard line. I thought it was going to be a free play on a neutral zone infraction, but instead the linebacker gets called for the DPI.
And now we have evidence as to why the receiver wasn't able to get to the ball and how that
Right.
pass was so off. He clearly got interfered with.
Okay, well, put the ball at the 1 then, and this is a 1st and goal situation. They've got 4 tries to put it home.
Yeah, you know
Give
what
Atlanta-
number I'm calling.
Yeah, absolutely. He's already done it once today. To the outside, and that's exactly where they go. This time to the outside is BDG Hollywood. With the touchdown, Atlanta takes back the lead.
Well, I think both of us, Chris, we were expecting it to be a run to Hollywood.
Yes.
Instead, it's a pass, fools us, fools the defense, and an easy pitch and catch here out on this little screen play with the blockers in front of them, but they don't have to do anything because there's just nobody in the Aztecs defense on that side of the field.
And Dunhill, another passing touchdown for his day. That'll make his stats look a little bit better. But BDG Hollywood having a monster day on the offense. Joshua Williams for Atlanta having a monster day on the defensive side of the ball. And the extra point about to hit home here in just a second for Atlanta, 20-14. So we play about 3.5 left in the second quarter. Snap good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up, and it is through. 7-point lead for the Swarm. And give Mexico City a chance to possibly respond here. Matt Wilson back out on the field in short order to try to get this team back into it. But one of these teams is going to get a defensive stop. And the one who does it, I think, is going to be the one who probably carries the momentum for the majority of the rest of this game.
Yeah, I agree. And they just keep going back and forth. And, you know, what kind of game would this have been without those early turnovers? There, Atlanta really for the first time able to go down the field through both the passing and running games, a really balanced attack, and then winning there at the end, getting in the end zone with a pass to BDG Hollywood, something that he did a lot of last season. Number 2, tied for number 2 in receiving touchdowns through the air. BDG Hollywood, just what a luxury it is to have a running back in the backfield who is an equally as good a receiver. Ray Bentley in this game as well actually led the league, breaking the SFL record with 11 receiving touchdowns last season as well.
Yeah, for a running back, that's huge. This will be Wilson on first down, throw to the outside, not much to it. Turns upfield, gets an extra yard, but not much more than that. That'll be to the fullback, Phoenix Jones, 2-yard gain.
And the introduction of Phoenix Jones into this backfield has surely taken the pressure off of Ray Bentley. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing for the balance of how this offense worked last season. But certainly, I think Phoenix Jones, if they can figure out a way to get them both going, it's going to be a dynamic addition to this offense.
And that's going to be a run through the middle, and that is going to be close, and they do get the first down on a run play through the mid. That is Ray Bentley, his first attempt on this drive.
Well, the man known as the Altered Beast made quick work here down the middle of the field. This is something through the middle of that line that he used to make his bread and butter on. Transition has more, as he's gotten older in this league, to more of a finesse back than a power back. But certainly we see the potential here, even on that play, of him being a devastating force down the middle.
And Jones gets the carry on second down. Nothing much to it. Make it 2nd and 9 as they get caught at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and I think that's the plan for Mexico City as the season will continue. They'll try to spell some of those inside runs, not going to Bentley as much and using Jones as that fullback, that powerful fullback that they want to try and be their short yardage specialist.
And Jay Miraculous on the stop on Jones there. Wilson to throw. He's going to get taken down. And that is one of the defensive tackles that might be Williams again. If I'm not mistaken, it is. He's got 3 on the day.
Yeah, and look, we might have not mentioned his name, but that doesn't mean he's here at the 2-minute warning.
Yeah. 2-minute warning on your screen. Close to halftime, 21-14 Atlanta, as Mexico City having a hard time getting out of their own end. And welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia. 21-14 as the 2-minute warning has come and gone, closing in on halftime in Atlanta. Mexico City on a 3rd and long play in the gun with 2 with them is Matt Wilson. Quick step back, drops it over the middle, and it's picked off again. And this one at about the 47-yard line, return to the 48. And Atlanta brings it in once more. Matt Wilson not having the greatest day. Jack Napier will cinch that in.
And that was a target for K.L. Barrett again. Go route, but Napier this time up to the challenge. Been burnt twice there in the first half. Gets redemption with that interception, likely securing the fact that Mexico City, can't go into the locker rooms with the score. And now the momentum firmly in Atlanta's hands.
Absolutely, Jack Napier. It looks like that ball was a little bit underthrown by Wilson as well. Probably needed a little more air underneath it, but either way, this is Marcus Dunhill territory here in the 2-minute drill. Deep right side, caught, and he's got room to go to the house. Atlanta on the first play of the drive gets points. Touchdown Swarm.
Boo Chisholm, you got to get up to get down. And he absolutely skies for this one. A 50-50 ball put up by Dunhill. It's just you and the defender. Who's the best man? Comes down with it behind the defender, able to bring it in and has the Jets to go untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, potentially up 14 going into halftime.
That's a huge, huge touchdown for Atlanta as well. They get the points just before the half. And don't forget, the Aztecs will at least get the ball back, try to get it back to a 1-score game at the start of the second half. But, I mean, if you're Atlanta, that touchdown speaks volumes for where the momentum's at as this kick is up and through on the extra point. We've seen 6 touchdowns so far in this first half alone. We expected sort of a shootout, and that's more or less what we're getting.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was thinking that we might have a little bit more of a defensive effort, but the fact is these two teams have come into this game with the mentality that they are going to air it out, which is great if you're watching the game.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan, particularly of the Aztecs at this now, you're probably reaching for the Tums and the Pepto-Bismol because it's such a roller coaster ride in these situations with all these takeaways.
from the 3-yard line on the return. It'll be sent back to about the 24-yard line. I think we've seen clips of both head coaches at this point just throwing their clipboards on the ground saying it doesn't matter anymore. It's been crazy to this point, and they'll start the drive at the 24.
Yeah, you can only game plan so much, and then this game is placed into the hands of these players to make some of these spectacular plays. They are highlighting Joshua Williams, a guy that has been an absolute beast through this first half, certainly a contributor to all those turnovers Wilson has thrown.
Bentley with some room to go. He'll try to spin out of 2, and it's not going to work. It'll be a 6-yard gain for him. About 1:36 left in this first half. I expect them to take some chances, I think, with them getting the ball back at the start of the second.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they would want to run and then let the clock continue to run. They've got 3 timeouts. They've got more than enough time to get in the field goal range. Put some points on the board. Help that momentum shift in your direction a little bit.
Hand off Bentley through the middle, has some room to go. First down and a few more, and they'll start the no huddle process here.
Yeah, confusing. Not using a timeout here. Going to just try to save them. I'm not sure for what.
Yeah, right. Can't take him with you. And that's going to be a big hit behind the line. It'll be a 1-yard loss, and yet that clock continues to tick away.
Still need about 30 yards here to get into Cole Varner range.
Wilson to throw. Going to take a shot here. Nope, short throw, crossing pattern. It is caught. Not for much. It'll be a 7-yard gain, make it 3rd and 4.
And remember, Cole Varner, the kicker for the Aztecs, absolutely perfect last season, 37-yarder last week.
Bentley to go. He's got some room. He's going to get out to about the 43-yard line, and they finally will take a timeout. And Bentley at least gets him something in the semblance of a positive direction.
Well, the Aztecs certainly know something that I don't. Running this ball and running it effectively here, despite the fact they've got the clock and the Atlanta defense going up against them. And now they're threatening right outside of Cole Varner range to put some points on the board. They're probably not thinking field goal, Chris. They're probably thinking end zone.
They've got some time to take a couple shots if they choose to. They've gotten Barrett on 2 long plays to the right side. See if they go that way again. Under center is Wilson. 2 in the backfield. See if they take a shot. It'll be a handoff to Bentley. Not much to, actually, it'll be Jones. Not much to that one. And it'll be 2nd and 11. And again, they go no huddle.
Yeah, it's almost as if they want to run this clock, and I'm not sure why.
Handoff once more to the outside. Room to go. Got to call timeout after this, and they do. Jones gets to the 38. It would be a 55-yarder from this spot. I don't think they take that chance yet.
No.
They have time for at least 1 snap and a quick throw.
Yeah, I think it'll be, well, at 3rd and 4, I think it'll be, they've got one last chance here to try to get into field goal range. If they don't, it'll surely be a punt.
The Hive getting busy. Crowd willing their team to a stop. Keeping Mexico City exactly where they are, or they hope so. On a 3rd and 4, Wilson, 0 drop back, throwing right side, diving grab, and they call the timeout at the 14-yard line. K.L. Barrett, full extension, brings it in.
Well, 2 touchdowns in the first half. Who do you go to when you need a big play? How about K.L. Barrett laying out between 2 defenders, bringing it in on a critical 3rd down that's going to almost guarantee you points and momentum. Hey, I've got the Rick meter beside me. It's going crazy right now. It's smoking and popping and sparking like nuts.
And they've got to try for the field goal here, middle of the hash marks. From the 14-yard line, it's a 31-yarder from the spot for Cole Varner. Snap good, hold good. Kick up and on the way. It is up, and it is through. That is money time for Varner, officially from 30 yards. And they needed that, but K.L. Barrett made that happen.
That's a huge win for this offense. Down 14, looking very stark going into halftime, able to go down the field and do it in an unconventional way, really running the football 95% of the time, able to march downfield, get right in the edge of field goal range, and then just a great individual effort from K.L. Barrett, who's having a game of his life.
Real good work from him, and they'll get this ball down to about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Returned there to about the 23. They'll mark him at the 21, actually, with 7 seconds left. So Dunhill, I would expect them to probably run out this clock, but we've seen weirder things happen.
Yeah, and when you've got a guy and kind of a wild card in Dunhill under center, you just never know kind of what you're going to get. A little bit like the Brett Favre of the SFL here. He may call his own number, call an audible, and just chunk this one down the field, hoping to put more points on the board.
We'll see. Two in the backfield, likely a run. See if that's indeed the case. Hollywood is one of the backs back there. 7 seconds to go. He's going to waste some time. Hand it off to Hollywood finally, and he will get taken down after a very small gain, 2 yards. And that is going to do it for the first half of this one. 28-17 in favor of the Atlanta Swarm currently as we go into this halftime break. Steven, your thoughts?
Oh, this is truly a game for the fans. I mean, if you are a fan of football, you will like what you're seeing here because it is a back and forth matchup with some spectacular plays being made on both the offensive, defensive side of the ball. We've seen some spectacular receptions by K.L. Barrett. Really the one player mostly responsible for all the points on the Aztecs board right now. And for Atlanta, it's just been a great performance by BDG Hollywood. We're seeing these stars of the SFL absolutely make plays that are impacting the win-loss column. There, Jeffrey Daggs, the safety, tested one too many times, has had a couple great pass deflections, that interception. And then Matt Wilson here finding K.L. Barrett on the fade route, one of 2 that we'll see in this highlight package, including that monster of a reception at the end of the first half to get them into field goal range. And then Marcus Dunhill, the gunslinger, not afraid to take chances despite it costing him, like it did there with the Antiomi interception going out of the end zone.
So 6 total interceptions in this first half. 4 of them belong to Matt Wilson, 2 to Marcus Dunhill, but the stats don't look terrible. Matt Wilson 10 for 10 on completions, 100%, and Marcus 12 for 12 unofficially as well. So they haven't missed when they've thrown to their guys, but other than that, not many that have gone to the ground. You take a look at the rushing stats. Ray Bentley, 8 carries, and Phoenix Jones 5 for 13 total, and they total for 36 yards between the 2 of them. BDG Hollywood with 89 yards on just 13 attempts. Receivers, you have a trio of receivers with 3 receptions for Atlanta: Siege Falco, Boo Chisholm, and Jamal Wooding. Dave Axis has a couple as well. And then you look on the other side, K.L. Barrett leads the attack in the receiving department for both teams, 139 on just 4 grabs. Second half action coming your way in just a second, as the Mexico City Aztecs will start with the football, but more on the Matt Wilson story. They got to use the running game to open up the passing game, but they're putting Matt Wilson in obvious passing situations.
Well, I give a lot of credit to Jamal Williams. I mean, he's been an absolute, Joshua Williams has been an absolute beast at defensive tackle, and he's really dictating what Mexico City's doing in the running game and the passing game. Honestly, he's not only been a great run stuffer, but great at putting pressure on Matt Wilson.
Yeah, the hive, the site. Atlanta, of course, one of 4 undefeated teams left in season 14. Mexico City, who went down to Baltimore last week, was taken away from the unbeaten ranks. But you look ahead, if Atlanta is able to hold on, it's a potential matchup of the unbeatens against Baltimore in 1 week's time in Baltimore. So that could be a really nice matchup as well. But you can't look ahead if you're Atlanta. You know how dangerous Mexico City is as this ball is kicked, and it will be returned from about the 2-yard line. 15 to the 20. Spin move at the 20 to the 22-yard line, and 1st and 10 there for Matt Wilson and company.
Well, let's not forget that offensive series to end the first half. Mexico City really finding a lot of success on the ground, particularly right down the middle of this defensive line, right at Joshua Williams, running towards him, finding a lot of success, but also some miraculous pass plays that were able to move them down the field as well.
2 in the backfield. One of them is Bentley. He's going to get the ball on 1st down, busts through 1, and then gets hit like a truck at the 24-yard line. 2-yard gain for Ray Bentley. Not much to that.
Yeah, that's a lot of moving and shaking for just a 2-yard gain, but that's really what Bentley's game has kind of become now, just more of a shifty back. And we look at the numbers there for Wilson. Great on the quarterback rating, not so great on the turnovers. He may have completed all of his passes, but he also completed some to the other team, which was a problem.
Yeah, well, by right, I guess he still completed all of his passes. That's going to be through the middle. That's a 5-yard gain. 3rd and 3, as that will be to Jones.
Yeah, and you really
for the
Mexico
Bentley.
City here facing an uphill battle, as you mentioned. Coming off a loss to Baltimore, who actually is going to be Atlanta's next opponent. Mexico City a little bit reeling here, trying to have to try and climb back into this game on the road.
Under center. That is a handoff, trying to get to the first down marker. He pushes his way forward. Ray Bentley, did you? You did. First down for Mexico City.
Yeah, somebody has been using a time machine because apparently that's the Ray Bentley from about 4 seasons ago. That kind of power and speed combination that we saw from him when he posted a 2,000-yard season about 4 seasons ago now. But can every once in a while will remind you he is still the altered beast.
To the outside, it is going to go to about the 38-yard line, and nothing much more doing there as Bentley gets a swing pass. 2nd and 6.
And honestly, that combination in the passing game is really what made Wilson so efficient and so effective. I love seeing them implement that a little bit more and making the defense have to think a little bit about how they're going to cover that running back in the backfield. That tends to open up things in the passing game down the field.
In the gun is Wilson. Plenty of time, drops it back deep over the middle. That's caught, and he's got some room to go. That is to the 20, to the 15, 10, 5, to the 3, to the 2, and he's taken down at the 2-yard line. It's Mike Daggs on his first target.
And you mentioned it, Chris. We haven't called Mike Nags at all first half here. They send him on a post route right down the middle of the field, and he is absolutely wide open. Look at the speed that Daggs is able to use to get away from number 27 there. Blake Chance just outrunning the safety, really just running a very crisp route and giving Matt Wilson a huge target in the middle of the field.
And he leads the team in targets, now 20 on the season so far, 13 receptions now as we update the stats live, and plenty of yardage for Mike Daggs this season. See what Bentley can do. Can he get to the end zone? He's close, and he is
in. He's in.
He is in. That is a touchdown for Ray Bentley, and it will give the Aztecs some points to get them back into this game.
Well, go give your tight end a little bit of love because he's the reason that you got down there and get an opportunity to squeeze this one in. Not at all easy there for Bentley, actually having to lower his shoulder and power through, but still got some of that juice left to get in the end zone. He's like a bulldog. When he starts sniffing that end zone, he starts to revert back to his old self.
And he did that a couple plays on this drive before the Mike Daggs long play, as well as Cole Varnell gets set up for the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick up and on the way. And it is through. 4-point deficit. Atlanta still has the lead, and they get the ball back in the third quarter. Stay with us. Back to Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta about to get the ball back. They do have a 4-point lead over the Mexico City Aztecs. Welcome back into the broadcast booth, Chris Curtis and Stephen Mullinex. You got Mark Chisholm on stats, and then our producer and commissioner Cameron Irvine hitting all the buttons, making us look good. And this will be about 10 yards deep in the end zone, but returned out to the 15, to the 18, but not a gamble worth taking. And you take a look at the last meeting these two teams had, Stephen, 37-27, and Mike Daggs, again, the impact player.
Yeah, and Mike Daggs coming up big, ironically, just on that previous series to make this 4-point game. We talked about Mexico City having to establish their identity a little bit here in the second half. They absolutely have done so with that terrific offensive series coming out of the break.
Dunhill in the gun. Hollywood to his right. Plenty of time. Left side towards the sideline, tipped and incomplete. That was close, but nice work as that was a really good pass deflect out of bounds.
Yeah, and Han Taomi actually just playing this little deep out perfectly, in perfect position, really, to come down with this ball. Too bad he just couldn't grab it, but certainly an area where Dunhill needs to be careful, as Tayumi's already got an interception in this game.
He does, and along with a couple other of the, or along with one other for the Aztecs as well. Dunhill with 3 in the backfield on this 2nd and 10 play. I guess at that point you take a shot. Why not? See if you can get a little bit closer, and then maybe they run it here to Hollywood. Although they're changing the play at the line. And it'll be a handoff. Indeed, Hollywood, shifty and more shifty from him, make it a 6-yard gain, 3rd and 4.
Well, for Atlanta, they had so much momentum after scoring that their last touchdown up by 14, and you just got the feeling the wind got knocked out of their sails a little bit with that field goal by Mexico City at the end of the first half, and then combine that with a touchdown coming out of halftime, and it started to be a more equal momentum game.
And this is going to be a throw to the left from Dunhill, caught, and they will say it is inbounds. Looked good to me as well. See if Mexico City will try to challenge us. Besiege Falco with a nice catch on the left side.
Yeah, if I'm Mexico City, if it's close, I'm challenging this because there's an opportunity here to make it 3 and out and give your offense great field position, maybe even the lead in this game. Let's see if Mexico City even challenges here.
Yeah, I don't expect. Oh, they will. Okay. It looked good to me, so we'll see what Stripes has to say about it. Old 62 working or earning his paycheck. See what he can do, or see what he sees in the booth. But again, 1 foot league. It looked good.
Let's see what the boys in the truck here with the angle they give us. See if we can see the feet. No, I mean, it looks to me there based on where I would think the feet are, that would be inbounds, but who knows what the ref saw.
They called it out of bounds. It was incomplete.
Wow.
I didn't think they would have had conclusive evidence to call that.
And what a challenge by Ramos Lynn, the head coach of Mexico City.
Yeah.
He realizes the situation here. It puts Atlanta in 4th down. It's going to give Mexico City, as long as nothing goes wrong here on special teams, it's going to give them great field position to possibly get the lead. What a call.
Old 62 might have some 4 flat tires out in the parking lot after this one.
Yeah.
That is bad news for the Atlanta Swarm. Give Mexico City back the football as this punt will return from the 39 to the 41. And that is actually, to the 41. That's going to be a first down for them. It looks like another piece of laundry on the field.
And that was Joe Clark Jr. on the return end, but we have a flag on the play. Looks like clipping. Oh, boy. Yeah, clipping against Mexico City. And that's if you know anything about Mexico City's history, they have had a devastating history with clipping calls, and they're just the latest results. Going to hurt their field position there just a little bit, but still the Aztecs in great position to possibly take the lead here.
A plethora of clipping calls have altered their history on a couple of occasions. 2 in the backfield for Matt Wilson, though, as they start this drive from the 21, or 26, sorry.
Wow.
Thrown short, a little skinny post. Not much to that one, but a 6-yard gain for Mexico City, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, that's Joe Clark Jr. there on the slant route. And if Atlanta is going to give that much cushion, Matt Wilson and this ball control offense are going to eat them up on this drive. So I would expect to see Atlanta try to be a little bit more aggressive, but certainly feels like they're on their heels right now.
2nd and 4. That is Bentley in the backfield. He'll get the handoff, trying to bust through the middle. He's not going to get there. 3rd and 1 after a 3-yard gain and a nice stop on the defensive line.
And we're seeing some of the top SFL offenses kind of shy away from using the running backs in a traditional way. And one of the reasons is because runs like that give you positive yardage, but put you in these critical 3rd down situations that you have to convert all the time.
3rd and 1. Big 3rd down here for Mexico City. Handed off to Jones. He's not going to get there. The rookie gets taken down behind the line, and it's an immediate 3 and out for Mexico City as they have to punt the ball back.
Well, let's give all the credit in the world to this Atlanta defense there. Outside linebacker Fox Highwind able to get the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Really just does a good job of fighting through the traffic to find the rookie fullback and bring him down.
Punt upcoming. Kick is up and gone, end over end out to the 34-yard line, returned there to the 35, and no further. Atlanta with the ball back in their possession. We'll see what they can do with it when we come back. See if I can find it, but I'm not. We are back and ready to go. It is 1st and 10 for Atlanta as they have the ball at the 35-yard line. 3 in the backfield, handoff to Hollywood. Got some room to go through the middle. Not much to it, the 6-yard gain. Let's take a look at this Atlanta swarm. Their defense has been pretty good over the last couple seasons. Well, it's been pretty good over the first couple seasons on this chart, but they took a big step back in season 12 and started to recover a bit, Steven, in season 13.
Yeah, one of the reasons why we wanted to spotlight this is the fact that they have actually the number 5 score, the number 2 scoring defense coming into this game. So great improved is BGG Hollywood to the outside.
He is gone to the house. BDG Hollywood just put them back up 2 scores, and the cheat code is at it again.
Chris, I almost wanted to make your call there. I was so excited about what I was seeing. I apologize, I got to know my role and shut my mouth. You know what I mean? But I couldn't. I just couldn't contain it there as this little stretch play to the outside gets BDG Hollywood absolutely untouched. Hayumi totally faked out of his shoes. His cleats are still on the field. And Hollywood, we talked about him making his presence known in the first half. And boy, a squandered opportunity by Mexico City's offense on their previous play to go 3 and out into Atlanta to get back into this game and take a potential 11-point lead.
And that bulldozes BDG Hollywood over the 100-yard mark and puts him closer to 150, if not over that mark as well. We'll get the exact totals here in a second, but real nice work from him. That puts 2 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air for BDG Hollywood today, and he's been a force as he has been all season long.
And I can't overstate the challenge that took place by Ramos Lynn on the previous 2 series ago, and able to shut down Atlanta's offense to go 3 and out. Critical challenge makes it 4th down. They punt the ball to Mexico City Aztecs offense, and they squander an opportunity to possibly take a lead in this game and give up now a touchdown to be down by 11.
And Hollywood, 166 yards on the day on the ground. And this is going to be returned back to the 25-yard line. To the 28 is where he will be marked. And Mexico City going to come back out on the field again, find themselves in a familiar position, down 11. And a score will get them back into this game as we are closing in on the, over halfway through this third quarter.
Yeah, and a decent return there by Joe Clark Jr. gives the Aztecs decent field position here to try and get down the field and respond to that big breakout run.
And off Bentley has some room to go through the middle, is met by a wall at the second level, and he's going to get taken down after a 9-yard gain. So Bentley doing what he can to keep his guys in it. It's 2nd and 1.
Yeah, it's a good start to this drive, giving them a real short field here to get the first down, and a good omen here for Mexico City's offense that, frankly, is going to need some good omens throughout the rest of the second half to get back into this game.
71 yards on the ground for Ray Bentley. It's going to be Jones who's going to bowl his way forward for a first down, however. 1st and 10 for Mexico City.
And I believe most SFL coordinators, offensive coordinators, believe that's really the main role for a fullback. If you can't do anything else, you should be able to get those short yardage, 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1s, and be able to convert those. But we're seeing a lot more dynamic play from these fullbacks.
And off left side for Bentley, and he's going to get taken down immediately. Not much to that one, and it'll be a loss of 2.
Yeah, and that is all Dylan Rowland, the inside linebacker. Just a great pursuit angle right from the snap. The burst to get into the backfield and the strength to bring down Bentley.
2 in the backfield. Jones and Bentley back there. Hand off Jones. He's going to have some room to go, and that's actually Bentley, my bad. That's going to be or no, I was right. It is Jones. That's a 1st and 10 either way at the midfield stripe. It is a new set for Mexico City as they start to churn their way forward. Matt Wilson not throwing a ball on this drive.
Yeah, and I'm honestly not surprised, Chris, that you would think that might be Bentley because the running style is that
Yeah,
of Bentley. It's so quick. We're not used to seeing a slender fullback like that be able to pull off those kind of plays. And that's where really Mexico City has found a gem in the way they use him.
they've also put him in a weird spot in the formation as he'll get a second carry in a row here as a 2nd and 6. You start putting him in Bentley's spots in those formations, it could throw off everybody, us and the defense.
Yeah, and certainly he's seeing back-to-back success on back-to-back run plays. And I mean, I think what this just says is that they want not only to have a balanced offense here in Mexico City, they want to have a balanced backfield with both of their backs getting equal opportunity.
Split backs, Wilson to throw the first time on this drive. To the outside, it is Bentley with a grab. It'll be a 3rd and 2 situation, and it will be another 3rd and short that they have a chance to try to convert. They've been decent on 3rd downs, 3 for 7. They could really use to go 50% on this drive.
Yeah, so critical 3rd down here, nearing their field goal range, still probably about maybe 7 to 8 yards away.
Little sidearm throw is a good one over the middle. It'll get them a 1st down and a big play to get them a new set as they move into Atlanta territory. That's a needed one for Richard Montague.
You're right, and it's a 2-score game, and every point is going to help at this point. So you've got yourself into field goal range with that nice little slant route to Montague. Wilson with a nice dot in between defenders. Again, under pressure, the best thing you can do as an offensive coordinator is give your quarterback those quick little pass plays in order to keep him standing upright.
Split backs formation for Mexico City. 7 in the box defensively. Plenty of time to throw to the outside. It is caught and a little shimmy and shake out of bounds after a 5-yard completion. Not much there, but enough to make it a manageable 2nd down.
Yeah, K.L. Barrett was the king of those little out routes last season, has transitioned into a more of a deep threat here this season, but still has the footwork to make sure he double taps before going out of bounds. So good job there by the 7-year veteran.
6 in the box defensively on this 2nd and 5. Bentley, the lone back, gets the handoff, tries to spin past the line of scrimmage. That's not going to go. Aquinas Shine, 2 tackles for loss, add another one there.
Yeah, and this has been an issue here for Mexico City, especially here in this second half where these little short run plays are for no gains or even a loss of yards. This puts the team in tough positions on 3rd down.
2 in the backfield. Making some calls at the line is Wilson. Looks to throw. Plenty of time over the middle. That's through a seam. It's caught towards the 6-yard line. Caught at the 5. What a play by Clark Jr. to bring that one home. It's 1st and goal.
And you know what? That's about patience in the pocket by Matt Wilson. Really has the stones to stand in there and give Clark time to get to a position where he can throw him the ball. But boy, an absolute laser. I honestly don't know how he got it to the receiver through all that traffic.
Crazy. That was almost, they had to go through 2 sets of hands to even get to Clark. And it finally gets there, sets up the Aztecs at a 1st and goal. They need a touchdown here for momentum's sake. Split backs formation. Wilson to the outside, throws towards the pylon. Did he get it? He did not. 2nd and goal at the 1. K.L. Barrett couldn't quite turn his torso.
Oh, this sets up nicely either Bentley or Phoenix Jones here on 1-yarder. But yeah, you would love to see the receiver catch that ball and just poke the nose of it over the line if possible, but puts them in great position here, 2nd and goal.
Offset I formation. Bentley is the deep back on this. Swarm expecting run. See where they go. Handoff. Jones, touchdown. That is exactly what the Aztecs need him. Get him back to what should be a 4-point deficit. Now you got to get a stop.
And Phoenix Jones, making his case for early candidate for Rookie of the Year, his 2nd rushing touchdown in as many games. So, Phoenix Jones probably being utilized better at the fullback position than any other of those widely drafted fullbacks that came through the draft this season.
4-yard run on the touchdown, or a 1-yard run on the touchdown, sorry, and this will be a Cole Varner extra point. Snap is low, got to be handled. Kick is blocked partially, and it's going to be it's going to be no good. Making a 5-point deficit instead, and Atlanta able to stop the extra point as we come back to the high in just a moment. Cam, you were muted during that. I didn't hear if you tried to call that ahead of time. And back to it, Atlanta about to go ahead and get the ball back. Going to try to put it back to a 2-score game as we join you back in the broadcast booth. Chris Curtis and Stephen Mullinex with you, as this will be a kneel down in the end zone to bring it back to the 20. 35-30. It's been a whale of a game. You and I, Stephen, probably expected 30 points aside, but we didn't expect nearly as many turnovers, I don't think.
Well, and we saw Atlanta pulling away there in that first half, and now we've seen the resilience of this Aztec offense, able to go march down the field twice and get in the end zone. So a terrific look from them, but still down 5.
Trips left for Dunhill. Hollywood is the deep back. He's going to get the handoff here, try to shimmy and shake his way through, but it'll be a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. He's done real good work today as he gets, say, another couple of yards, make it 171 on the ground for him.
Yeah, he's averaging more than 9 yards a carry right now, which is going to bump up his 6.8 that he came into this game with, which was already leading the league. So he's just running like a madman through the first 3 games of this young SFL season.
And don't forget, last week he had 269 all-purpose yards, including 217 on the ground. He was a monster last week and continues his dominance here, and that's a first down as that throws off to the right-hand side. Boo Chisholm gets a foot in and gets him new set.
Well, Mexico City secondary giving a lot of respect to these Atlanta wide receivers playing back, and there it's just Atlanta was able to take full opportunity of it.
1st and 10 for Dunhill at the Atlanta 30-yard line. Deep drop back, 7-step, throws deep over the middle, tipped and incomplete. Wow. That was dangerous, and they nearly brought that one in, as this will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Pablo Zamora getting tested, not able to bring it in to end the 3rd frame. So we've got more football for you. 1 quarter left in a 5-point affair. Stay with us in Atlanta. Back for the fourth quarter of action in a 5-point game. Atlanta with the football, and they are moving. As we welcome you back into the booth, Chris Curtis, Stephen Mullinex, our producer and commissioner, Cameron Irvine on the buttons, and then Mark Chisholm on the stats for us as Mark Chisholm's Atlanta Storm have a 5-point advantage and the football. So they could use a score here as they're moving left or right to left across your screen. BDG Hollywood is the back in the single back. 6 in the box defensively for the Aztecs. Through the middle, Hollywood has some more room to go. Double spin move, and he gets past the first down marker. This man continues to shine, and it's 1st and 10.
Well, I was about to say, Atlanta feels like they just keep struggling to pull away from Mexico City, and Mexico City keeps coming back. But the way that BDG Hollywood is running in this game with power, with drive, with determination, it feels like nothing is going to stop this man from getting a win, which really bodes well here in the final frame.
Good work for him. He continues to put some numbers on the board. Mexico City got to try to find a way to stop him. But it is not an easy piece of work there. 6 in the box again for Mexico City. We'll see how much extra help they send. They will send 4, including 1 late. That'll be a throw to the right. Not much to it. It'll be a 2nd and 10, as that was basically a check down. And it'll be 2nd and long.
Yeah, and just nothing deep for Dunhill. We know him to be a gambler. Look downfield, even double coverage, but here just a simple security blanket that he has here, and doesn't gain any yardage, but doesn't lose any either, and allows him to get 2nd down and play another play.
Offset eye for Dunhill. 7-step drop, plenty of time. Left side towards the sideline, caught, and they will say out of bounds. Siege Falco couldn't quite get the foot in this time, and it'll be 3rd and long.
And this may be one that the Swarm want to challenge. This is, and they will. It was close enough, and actually would put them in really, I believe, 3rd and 2 territory. So could be critical call here.
Could be indeed. Looked like it was out of bounds from the angle we had live. Let's see what the truck has for us here. This will be a real good camera, I have a feeling. Oh, and then they switched the camera. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a catch. That didn't look good at first, but it looks good to me now.
It looks like the last one that was called not a catch, so I'm unsure.
Right. So they ruled this one complete.
Good.
Okay.
All right. So
all right.
Our eyes aren't failing us quite yet.
No, not yet.
But I think there could be some debate. Surely a good call there by Atlanta. Again, making this now a 3rd and 3, so an opportunity for a really easier conversion.
Under center. Dunhill. Quick drop to the outside. Has Hollywood out there. Spin past 1. He'll get the 1st down. Again, he's a madman. And he gets more all-purpose yardage again. 1st and 10 for Atlanta.
And that's all about BDG Hollywood. Actually, Dunhill had audibled for a short out on the other side of the field, but it was perfectly covered by the Aztecs. So Dunhill dumps it down to his running back behind the 1st down marker and says, "Hey, big fella, you've been playing lights out. I need you to make another one for me."
Offset eye. Hollywood is the deep back. He'll get the handoff on 1st down. He's met at the line. Gets dragged backwards. Only a 1-yard gain based on forward progress. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and that's Tony Stack, the free agent acquisition, able to really clog that hole very nicely. Want to see a lot more of that from this Aztec defense in order to shut down Hollywood, who's just having a terrific day.
Single back, 6 in the box defensively for Mexico City. Hand off again, going to try to run it through the front gap. That's not going to go. Make it 3rd and 8. Hollywood also closing in again on 200 all-purpose yards, as that is Nick Daggs who comes up and makes the stop.
Yeah, Nick Daggs, a former defensive back, made the transition to linebacker and made it seamlessly. It's almost as if linebacker was really his true position. Really played well last season, establishing himself as one of the better inside linebackers in this league.
Dunhill to throw. He had trips right over the middle, and it should have been picked. That's not going to go. And again, they test the secondary. Daggs, and not able to bring this one in either.
Yeah, if there's going to be a comeback in this game by Mexico City, it's going to involve a Dag.
Yep.
One of the Dags is going to be involved there. We saw Nick Daggs on the previous play make a great tackle. And then we see Jeffrey Daggs, who likely should be playing center field for the New York Yankees, playing center field out here, knocking that ball away and causing Atlanta to have to punt.
And this is going to be a punt that'll get them deep into Mexico City territory from the 9. It'll bounce to the 2, to the 1, and they stop it on the goal line.
Wow.
That is huge for the Atlanta Swarm Special Teams unit. What an execution there. And give Matt Wilson the ball in the shadow of his own end zone.
And you know what, Chris? I'm instantly flashing back to the Aztecs earlier in this game, struggling to run the ball, at some points and even get past the line of scrimmage, especially with the way that Joshua Williams is playing at defensive tackle. Dangerous territory here.
Indeed. They could make it a 7-point lead before you know it. Offset eye. It'll be a handoff to Phoenix Jones, and he'll get himself at least one. That'll get him at least a little bit further up and give him a little more room to work.
And there perfectly illustrates the advantage of having these two equally good backs here in the backfield. I was actually looking at Ray Bentley, and I didn't even notice Phoenix Jones. So that nice little handoff that was, I even got confused. I imagine it happens on the defense as well.
7 in the box. They're expecting another run here. This one will be to Jones again. He'll get a couple more yards, a little bit more room, get it out to the 3, and they're at least moving in the positive direction, but another tackle there for Williams.
And if you're Mexico City, I'm not sure if you can afford to even pass here. You may just elect to run and just have to eat the field position that you're going to be giving to this high-octane Atlanta offense.
If you do, it needs to be a swing. It needs to be to the outside, and there needs to be nobody on him. Otherwise, it could be dangerous territory. Double back in the backfield. Handoff to Bentley instead. He's going to spin his way forward. They don't get the first down, but they give their punter a little bit of room. And you hate talking about field position in that kind of way at this point in the fourth quarter, but Atlanta did a really good job putting Mexico City in a tough spot.
Well, if you're the Aztecs, you simply can't risk a possible turnover this close to your own end zone. It could literally end the game for you if you allow a pick six. So you understand the mentality they're running on third down.
And this will be the kick that'll go about the 34-yard line. Wow. Fair caught there in a 5-point game. Atlanta in positive field position. We'll see if they can put this to a 2-score game again. This is a simulation football league on Olympus Sports. And welcome back in to Atlanta, Georgia. The Hive is the site as we have a 5-point game as we get to the, we're in the tail end of this game for sure, closing in on halfway through the fourth quarter of play. Atlanta in positive territory after the punt that Mexico City had to do basically from their own end zone. And it'll be a handoff to Hollywood. He's got some room to go around the edge, tries to spin back to the inside. He's taken down after an 8-yard gain, but could we see Mexico City's defense stand up here and make a turnover happen? They've been tested on multiple occasions. Dags, for instance, as you mentioned, brought in one. They got to execute, and they got to get something done here.
Yeah, and if they can even hold, Atlanta to a field goal, and this is still a 1-score game.
Yeah, and that's going to be a BDG Hollywood run through the middle for a first down between the tackles. He gets another carry for him. He's been the workhorse of this Atlanta roster, and it's only going to open up things deep for Marcus Dunhill if things continue this way.
Yeah, and you know what? I am riding my running back here if I'm Atlanta. Seen from number 34 BDG Hollywood so far in this game. It gives me every confidence that he is willing and able to put this team on his back and go ahead and lead them to a victory.
And that last run put him over 200 all-purpose. This is going to be a ball over the middle, deep to the end zone, touchdown, and it called it deep. That is Jamal Wooding with the grab, and Atlanta puts it back to 2 scores.
Well, why would you even need to run the ball when you can have your tight end this wide open in the middle of the field? This is something that Atlanta likes to do. They like to use Wooding as a deep threat down the middle of the field, and we see absolutely why. Has the speed to outrun the safety back there to be wide open in the end zone, and that is just devastating if you're the Aztecs. as an opportunity you had earlier in this half to even take the lead in this game, and it's squandered, and you're in a really tough situation.
That is going to be an extra point up and good from short. And don't look now, but it's a 12-point lead the way it sits at the moment. And Mexico City's going to have to score kind of some rapid fire points here to get themselves back in it. But this speaks to the issue they had a week ago, where we're not able to stop teams from scoring on that side of the ball. And I mean, to give up 70 points in 2 games, there's got to be something that's looked at on that sideline.
Yeah, you're right. And, they've got a lot of introspection to do, but they still have 5 minutes and 47 seconds and clicking down to get back into this game. And we've seen this Aztecs offense be absolutely explosive. I would expect Wilson to look for his deep threat, K.L. Barrett, on maybe a couple of those fade routes to see if they can get back in this game quickly. But they are fighting not only this Atlanta defense, but they are fighting the clock.
Yes, they are. And the time is not on their side as they have to score and then likely get an onside kick as well to get back into it. It is a 7-in-the-box situation for Atlanta. They're expecting a Bentley run. Bentley is the lone back, but instead it'll be a Wilson throw. He's hit as he threw. Does have the forward arm motion. It'll be 2nd down, and Williams there again.
Yeah, and if I'm Joshua Williams, I know exactly the situation that the Aztecs are in, and I am pinning my ears back, and I am going after Wilson with everything that I've got and putting pressure on him. We've seen that result in early interceptions in this game. Watch for the man with the long wristbands there, those white ones. That's the guy that's going to make a difference in the trenches.
Offset I formation, handoff. It is Phoenix Jones. He's going to have a couple of yards, get up to 3rd and 5. Interesting decision to run the ball there.
Yeah, and I just say that, and I'm sure that other people were watching Joshua Williams absolutely destroyed the center. If that would have been a pass play, he would have been in Matt Wilson's lap.
Not where Matt Wilson wants Joshua Williams. Just
no.
Split backs formation for the Aztecs here. Wilson hands off. Ray Bentley got some room to go, got a 1st down. They'll move it forward at least as we tick down to the 5-minute mark in this 4th quarter.
And Mexico City continuing to demonstrate patience, have not given up on their running game. And we've seen this running game have success here against Atlanta. Despite the presence of Williams in the middle, they've gone right towards him a lot of times and found success. So this duo of Bentley and Phoenix Jones, they spell each other, and they both have great success. But again, a little highlight there of K.L. Barrett, 6 catches, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. You got to call his number at some point.
At some point, exactly. And if you're Atlanta, you got to stack that side of the field as well. Make anybody else beat you. Maybe with the exception of Mike Daggs. Wilson to throw. To the outside. It is caught. It does get out of bounds, so we'll stop the clock at least after a 3-yard gain for Montague.
And we're not seeing any real pressure being placed on this offense themselves. They're being patient. They're taking what this defense is giving them, but they know they have to get into the end zone. The quicker, the better. But sometimes taking your time is the right approach so you don't turn the ball over.
Offset I again for Wilson. Looks to throw, moves in the pocket. He's going to get taken down. And guess who? It's Williams, his 4th sack of the day.
And forces them into a hurry-up, which is not good.
No, not at all. Wilson has time this time, puts it to the outside. That is a catch for Clark Jr. He's going to get the 1st down. That's a big play to recover from the sack.
I actually think that was Phoenix Jones there, the fullback. He does a good job of pushing through. Can't get out of bounds, though.
Wilson, deep right side, looking for Barrett. It's picked off. That's not going to work. And Wilson has thrown another interception in this game.
And it's Jack Napier, the man that was burned twice for touchdowns, gets his 2nd pick, has really come to play here in this 2nd half, really has stifled Bentley. But I think more it's that this defensive line has stifled Wilson as that pass was woefully underthrown right into Napier's waiting hands.
Now we see what is probably going to be a steady diet of BDG Hollywood and not much else. 1st and 10 as Atlanta looks to seal this game away. To the outside for Hollywood. Spin move past 1. Doesn't break through 2 tackles. That'll be a 2nd down after a huge hit towards the sideline.
That's exactly it's what you want to see from your running back as a receiver out of the backfield as an offensive coordinator. It gives me all the tingles in the spine there because you want to see that running back utilize his ability to break that or make that first tackle or miss, and that just opens up so much when it comes to yardage, and those typically are some big gains.
Do you see anybody else besides Hollywood getting the player of the game?
Oof. Oh boy, I think Joshua
Williams.
Williams
Yeah.
has to be somebody that you've got to be in consideration. They don't often give those defense or game MVPs to defenders. In this case, I think you absolutely have to consider him. And some of these, like Napier, able to come back after allowing 2 touchdowns, getting 2 key interceptions. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of players worthy of it, but
Mhm.
BDG Hollywood's been absolutely transcendent in this game as he's been all season long. Not only a nominee for game MVP, got to be a nominee for league MVP, although we're just 3 games in,
Yeah, at least player of the week potential for sure.
for
As this will
sure.
be under center for Dunhill and a huge third down defensively for Mexico City. Got to get the stop here. Can they do it? They do get the stop, make it 4th and inches. And Atlanta likely will punt this ball away and give Mexico City back the football, although the clock continues to tick away, and they will be more than satisfied with watching it do so.
Well, that was defensive end Tyler Kane there with the stop, putting this into 4th down and inches mode. And Kane, really an unsung role player here on this Aztecs team, has come up with some big plays in the past. A man just itching for a bigger contract extension there in the offseason, I think.
And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. 42-30. And the Aztecs look to try to wrap this one up as we come back to you from Atlanta. And we are back to it, 42-30. Atlanta has the football in a 4th down situation. Should be a pretty academic punt. Mexico City trying to pin their ears back, it looks like, and send some help. Try to get this thing blocked. They could really use a big play from somebody on this roster to get them back and cause a real heart attack situation for Atlanta faithful. But that is returned to the 24 and no further. Big booming punt sets the offense up for Mexico City with not much time to go. They need a quick strike and then an onside kick and then another quick strike to get themselves a possible win here.
Certainly not impossible, Chris, but they've got to do it. As you said, they've got to move the ball efficiently or go for the big strike. We've seen them go for the big strike there against Napier, and he's been up to the challenge in the second half.
Yeah, first half not so much, but he's been burned twice and burned them twice at this point. Wilson to throw. Outside, trying to get to the sideline, and he does not. Clock continues to run after a 4-yard gain. Under center again in Wilson. Quick throw right over the middle, and that's going to be caught. Again, they'll run no huddle. But they're not calling any timeouts, suspect enough. Split backs again for Wilson. To throw to the outside. It's Bentley going to try to turn this. He does. Instead of going out of bounds, they decide that they will run it to the midfield stripe. And again, they'll get set up.
And that was Phoenix Jones there on the outside.
Okay. And this is Wilson to throw short. First down, not much more than that. And again, they'll run no huddle, but they're closing in on a minute left, and they're wasting a ton of time they might need later.
Yeah, but they're moving the ball really efficiently for sure.
They are. To the outside, that's going to be a ball towards the sideline, and he does not get out of bounds, is what they're going to say. Under center. Throw to the outside again. They're trying to turn it. Breaks through a tackle, steps out of bounds. And they're still in a spot where they're going to need to take a shot sooner or later. This could drag down all the way to the very end.
Yeah, field goal does not do them any good. This is certainly 4 down territory here, and But they've got 40 seconds. They've got all 3 timeouts. They are on. They have flipped their field position, and they're within striking distance of getting in this end zone.
Wilson to throw. Deep left side, picked off for the 6th time in this game. This time it's Blake Hamrack for his 2nd.
Yeah, and they just sent Montague there on a fade route. And what actually happened, we didn't get a chance to see it in the replay, but Matt Wilson had a really short drop in the pocket, and then the pressure from that Atlanta defensive line really pushed up against him, made him throw that ball a little sooner than he wanted to, and that caused the interception.
And it'll be victory time here as they'll get a steady diet of Hollywood for these next couple of plays. He will go down after no gain. Timeout called. Let's look ahead to the next weeks for these guys, as Atlanta's going to walk away with a win here. They will go to 3-0 and remain one of the last unbeaten teams. Mexico City going to 1-2, and that does not get any easier for Mexico City as they have to go to Jacksonville to play the Kings in 1 week's time. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, but I think we saw plenty in this game from the Aztecs on both sides of the ball to make us believe that they'll be very competitive. They've just got to find that extra missing component, and if they can find that, they will be well on their way back to getting that winning record like they had last season.
And then we take a look at the Atlanta Swarm, and they have a bona fide matchup of the year candidate, at least their matchup of the season candidate early on, as they go up against the also undefeated currently Baltimore Vultures in 1 week's time. And Atlanta held their own in this game. Now we'll see if they can do it in Baltimore at the Vultures.
Held more than their own. This is a team that went 7-5 last season, kind of didn't necessarily eke their way into the playoffs, but certainly were on one of the lower tier teams to get into the playoffs. But they are looking like an absolute top tier team here, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the fans saw them as a potential candidate to make it to the championship.
If they continue like this, they're definitely going to be in that conversation as punt coming. And it'll give Mexico City back the football with about 26 seconds left, but they'll burn it down as much as possible here. Towards midfield, caught there, returned to the 37-yard line. The 36 is where they'll mark him. And that will bring Matt Wilson back out again. We talked about it already. 6 interceptions for Matt Wilson. He'll have some things to definitely look over. They both quarterbacks had some yardage to work with today. But, I mean, on Atlanta, it was a kind of a repeat of last week. You didn't need a ton from Marcus Dunhill. You fed the ball to your bell cow BDG Hollywood, and he did the rest.
And this defense to take the ball away, and the pressure put on Williams and the rest of this defensive line has just been amazing. And it's that kind of balance where you're getting it and you're getting some contributions from every aspect of your team. Maybe other than maybe special teams, at least they're just not making mistakes. Or they did block a punt in this game, so even special teams is coming through for you. When all 3 phases are clicking like that, that's why it's so easy to see Atlanta as really on a tear, unlike they've ever been on before, and a favorite to, for surely make the playoffs, and are certainly one of the top teams in this league. And as they go face Baltimore next week, maybe in that game they can establish themselves as the top team in this league.
And that'd be a real big step for them in the right direction. Heaving it deep right side, tipped, and incomplete, I believe. Yes, that will be incomplete. 3rd and 10 with 1 second to go. So this will be the last play of the game coming up in just a moment. But good stuff from that side. There are more games coming as well. We've got one in just a couple minutes time as well. Charleston and Carolina going to be, or that one actually has already taken, I'm got my schedule all screwed up. Either way, there is more coming in just a few minutes time. We'll go into that in just a second. Hail Mary time for Wilson. He's got the move in the pocket, and I believe it was Williams that added another half sack to his totals as we come to the end of the contest. Swarm 42, Aztecs 30. Steven, your post-game thoughts?
Yeah, well, just a back-and-forth battle here. Atlanta seemed to be in control early on, but Mexico City showing their resilience, able to get back in this game. What kind of matchup would this be without those turnovers for Mexico City and Matt Wilson throwing those interceptions. You tend to want to think that way, that if he could have stayed clean, maybe they win this game. But let's not forget, it was those deep chances that he took that actually got them back into this game. So you can't have one without the other. But certainly Atlanta continuing to show their dominance on both sides of the field, and just a terrific effort. We talked about BDG Hollywood, the type of day that he has been having, and he's starting to see contributions now from a lot of different other players on the team. Specifically in this game, Joshua Williams, just an absolute dominant defensive performance, one that I think should garner him the game MVP.
219 total all-purpose yards for BDG Hollywood in a game that had 72 combined points between the two teams. And my schedule was right. It is Charleston and Carolina coming up in just a little bit. Cameron Irvine and Charles Doherty on the other side of a short break. But what a game from these two, and Atlanta looking to cement themselves as one of the top teams in the SFL. And I think with a win here, they've put themselves in the right direction to doing that. Forcing the Hall of Famer to throw 6 interceptions. That's a good way to do it on that side. More SFL coming up this week. As mentioned, Cam and Charles have the Charleston-Carolina game on the other side of a short break, and that will be that BDG Hollywood likely going to be your player of the game. We'll see that in just a short moment. But either way, we'll let the highlight package roll, and we will get out of here for the SFL, or for Stephen Molinex and Mark Chisholm on stats, along with Cameron Irvine, our producer and commissioner. I am Chris Curtis saying goodbye and good night from Atlanta. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. For more, jump on to simulationfl.net. Stay with us. We're going to Carolina right after this.